Welcome back to Tech Margadarshi. In this video, we'll learn Java pattern programs using stars and numbers, including pyramids, diamonds, triangles, and Floyd's triangle. Let's understand nested loops and strengthen our Java coding logic. Let's understand how to print a right-angled star pattern in Java. Here we take the number of rows as 5. To print this pattern, we use nested for loops. One loop for rows and another loop for printing the stars. The outer loop controls the number of rows and runs from 1 to 5. The inner loop prints stars based on the current row number. For the first row, 1 star is printed. For the second row, 2 stars are printed. And this continues until the fifth row, where 5 stars are printed. This program is a great introduction to nested loops and is commonly used in Java coding practice and interviews. Now let's print an inverted star pattern in Java. Here we take the number of rows as 5 and use 2 nested for loops. The outer loop controls the rows while the inner loop controls the number of stars printed in each row. Unlike the previous pattern, the outer loop starts from 5 and decreases down to 1. So the first row prints 5 stars, the next row prints 4, and this continues until only 1 star is printed. This program helps us understand nested loops and how changing the loop direction can create different patterns in Java. Now let's learn how to print a pyramid star pattern in Java. Here we take the number of rows as 5. To create the pyramid shape, we use nested for loops to print both spaces and stars. The first inner loop prints the required spaces before the stars. As we move to the next row, the number of spaces decreases. The second inner loop prints the stars where the number of stars follows the pattern 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. The formula 2 times I minus 1 is used to calculate the number of stars required for each row. This program is a good example of nested loops, spacing, and mathematical logic, and it helps build a strong foundation for more complex Java patterns. Now let's learn how to print an inverted pyramid star pattern in Java. Here, we take the number of rows as 5 and use nested for loops to control the spaces and stars. The outer loop starts from 5 and decreases down to 1. The first inner loop prints spaces before the stars, while the second inner loop prints the required number of stars using the formula 2 times I minus 1. As the rows decrease, the number of stars also decreases from 9 to 1, creating an inverted pyramid shape. This program helps us understand nested loops, spacing, mathematical formulas, and pattern building logic in Java. Now let's learn how to print a diamond star pattern in Java. A diamond pattern consists of 2 parts, an upper pyramid and a lower inverted pyramid. We use nested for loops to control the spaces and stars in each part. In the upper half, the number of stars increases from 1 to 9 while the number of spaces decreases. In the lower half, the process is reversed. The stars decrease from 7 back to 1 and the spaces increase. By combining these two patterns, we get a complete diamond shape. This program is a great example of nested loops, mathematical logic, and pattern building in Java. Now let's learn how to print a number triangle pattern in Java. Here we take the number of rows as 5 and use 2 nested for loops. The outer loop controls the number of rows, while the inner loop prints the numbers in each row. For the first row, only 1 is printed. In the second row, we print 1 and 2, and the numbers continue increasing with each row until we reach 1 to 5 in the fifth row. The inner loop starts from 1 and runs up to the current row number, which determines how many numbers are printed. This program is a great way to understand nested loops and build a strong foundation for more advanced number patterns in Java. Now, let's learn how to print an inverted number triangle in Java. Here, we take the number of rows as 5 and use 2 nested for loops. The outer loop starts from 5 and decreases down to 1, which creates the inverted structure. The inner loop prints numbers starting from 1 up to the current row number. So the first row prints numbers from 1 to 5, the next row prints 1 to 4, and this continues until only 1 is printed. This program is a simple example of nested loops and changing loop conditions to create different number patterns in Java. Now let's learn how to print Floyd's triangle in Java. Floyd's triangle is a pattern where consecutive numbers are printed row by row starting from 1. Here we take 5 rows and initialize a variable number with 1. We use 2 nested for loops. The outer loop controls the rows, while the inner loop determines how many numbers are printed in each row. After printing each number, we increment the number variable by 1. So, the first row contains 1. The second row contains 2 and 3. The third row contains 4, 5, and 6. And the pattern continues. This program is a good example of nested loops, incrementing variables, and pattern building logic in Java. That's all for Java Beginner Programs, Part 4. Practice these pattern programs to strengthen your understanding of nested loops and Java logic. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Tech Margadarshi for more Java coding programs.